Hello, good evening, dear Astro friends. It's Melanie here with the Astro Weather and Astro energies to work with for the week. So, I believe this one won't be a long one because there's not so much going on this week, and we definitely can use a break. So, I speak here of the week from tomorrow on, the 23rd of May 2023, until Monday, the 29th of 2023. In terms of holidays, we are having the Pentecost weekend next weekend, and there will be US Memorial Day next Monday, the 29th, so it will be Memorial Day weekend. But what's going on with the astro weather? So we are coming out of that T-square. Of course, it's still in effect, but not as exact anymore. In fact, this evening at 10:13 p.m., so that's in less than an hour, will be the last part of the T-square, which is Mars in square with Jupiter. I'm talking here of this T-square that was already noticeable with the new moon end of Taurus. We had the new moon here on the 19th of May, and that was right on the cusp of Taurus to Gemini. And lots of Taurus energy. So here early Taurus, mid Taurus, end of Taurus, and that all shifted with the sun going into, first the moon going into Gemini on the 19th, then the sun going into Gemini on the 21st, yesterday, and also Mars going into from Cancer, I have to always point it backwards, from Cancer into Leo on the 20th as well. And with that, with Mars entering Cancer, we also, look at the side, with Mars entering Cancer, Mars started to create this exact T-square here with Jupiter in early Taurus and with Pluto in early Aquarius. So here we go. This is really tricky to do this backwards. Good practice. So anyway, we are experiencing this pressure and this intensity that's been building up and became even more prominent as Mars entered Leo, where it is much more stronger and more confident. The warrior, the passionate warrior of sovereignty, of love, of anything creative, is pushing us to express ourselves, and that can be in contrast and in a dilemma with society and all the development and all the technological and systemic and systematic changes that are underway now with Pluto in Aquarius. We might feel like, hey, what's with our individual personal sovereignty and freedom in that regard, right? Mars in Leo. And then what's with our organic, natural biology and connection with nature, connection with Mother Earth, all the impact that has happened and continues to happen, and all the disruption of nature that we've seen in the last years. And now with Jupiter in Taurus, also since last week, everything becomes so much more obvious. Of course, this is also related to values in general, and also housing values and economy and money. All of this is Taurus. So lots of pressure, lots of premonition, I should also say, with Pluto in Aquarius, even though Pluto is going backwards now, back to Capricorn for some unfinished business. Pluto will re-enter Capricorn on the 11th of June until the end of the year, until next January, in fact, where there's still lots of shadow revelation, lots of transformation through seeing the core, the essence, and shadow of what's been going on in all these hierarchies and hierarchical structures, how much exploitation, shadows of Capricorn and abuse has happened in so many ways, and how that influenced how that influences where power is situated and how power is being played and abused. So lots of that still to unravel and to process and to reveal. Now the T-square is slightly and gradually loosening, but the pressure has hopefully also been a good one. So big seeing and also big appreciation for nature and anything natural with Jupiter in Taurus, and also passionate self-expression with Mars in Leo, and at the same time powerful forces, yet also shadowy forces regarding technology, regarding anything that is happening as change in the systems. Now, what's going on this week, specifically May 23rd, so that is tomorrow. As I said, Mars is coming out of that T-square, and we're having a beautiful connection tomorrow morning, which will be also building up overnight with the moon in Cancer, the waxing moon in Cancer, in conjunction with Venus. So if you have a clear sky this evening, it's almost a bit too late now, but tomorrow evening you can still see it. You can see in the western sky the waxing moon with Venus. So that adds gentleness, care, softness, compassion, and anything like really sweet and motherly and to the picture. So especially if your rising sign is Cancer. I just had a client with rising sign in Cancer. So your self-care is really important. Be gentle and treat your inner child with care. Do something, basically speak to yourself and be with yourself, also considering your inner child, considering your inner 4 or 5-year-old. And so the moon will be in Cancer. It's already in Cancer since yesterday, Sunday evening, and now today and tomorrow until Wednesday morning. And then there's quite a shift on Wednesday, because there's so much Leo energy with the moon in Leo fully introducing, inviting Mars into Leo, where Mars will be until July 10th, but the first moon in Leo during the Martian journey will be also important. So a lot of fiery, lots of passionate, lots of expressive and confident and out there energy, which also wants to have fun and be, so treat yourself to something special. That's Wednesday, so that's what I'm doing. And nice to schedule a bit with the planets, right? To plan with the planets and with the moon. And also on Wednesday, we will see the square from Venus in Cancer to Chiron in Aries. So there's a bit of a clash between our needs to and our enjoyment and uh, more like a rhythmic and a safe connection with what brings us joy, right? So not any stress. However, the Chiron in Aries can also bring up the inner warrior, and so there is also a sense of alertness, if not like kind of a reaction to things that can make things feel more raw, and can make things feel more yeah, you're more in a defense or in a assertive mode. Aries is ruled by Mars, while Venus wants to have just a good and enjoyable and safe time. There's also this push for newness and the push for actually healing what could be early wounds. So here's a connection between possibly again inner child, wounds early in life, trauma in life. How can that be healed? And how can, when old wounds come up, how can we be again gentle with ourselves and also treat ourselves to something that is loving and caring? Then another square is happening. So there's a few squares this week. Next one, the day after, on the 25th of May, Mars will square the nodal axis. Mars in early Leo squares the south node in early Scorpio and the north node in early Taurus. So we've seen this nodal axis, we've been with that, and it's been with us for quite a while, for the whole last year, 2022, since it started in December 2021, and now until mid-July. So now we're coming to the end of it. Less than 2 months to go. And the South Node in Scorpio has been a temptation to pull us into all kinds of dark and shadowy and vortexes and rabbit holes, but also it has helped reveal so much in combination with Pluto, the ruler of Scorpio, in Capricorn last year and now in Aquarius. So there is also a purpose to all this, but it's been also quite painful to go through lots of stuff. And we need to balance that with consciously bringing in from the Taurus side more joy, more groundedness. When we go so much into the underground and background and inner depths of experiences and inner shadow work. So we also need to be in nature, and we need to be feeding ourselves well and taking good care of the body. Plants are wonderful, wonderfully helping us. Having our hands in the soil or our feet on the ground, all of that connection with the earth and getting energy from that. And Mars in Leo squaring that dynamic. So it's even more of a it's Mars is very pronounced there, right? Gives quite a push to say, hey, what would love and what would living life lovingly do here? And this is your life. This is the privilege of your life. What are you doing about it? And how do you show up now and being in joy, right? While also being passionate about what needs to change with Scorpio. Then the last square this week is from the Sun on the 28th, on Sunday, from the Sun in early Gemini to Saturn in early Pisces. So that's a mutable square. We had the cardinal square, right? Interesting, from Venus in Cancer to Chiron in Aries on the 24th, we will. And on the 25th, the fixed square from Mars in early Leo to nodal axis in early Scorpio Taurus, and then the mutable square all three modalities, from the Sun in early Gemini to Saturn in early Pisces. So that is more an energy that can get somewhat an inundation of information, or some scatteredness, or some so many interests, so many puzzle pieces, so much heady stuff, and that can be a bit overwhelming. So there will be also the moon in Scorpio, the moon in Virgo on Saturday, especially, will be a half moon and in square with the sun for that matter. So on Saturday, the 27th, we'll have almost like grand, a grand mutable cross because of the moon involved. So we want to watch not to get overly distracted, overwhelmed, scattered, or overly worried and dealing so much with details and the huge list, the to-do list. We need to take it also easy, be relaxed, and let go, forgive ourselves, and also from the Saturn perspective in Pisces, right? So to do spiritual work, would help us raise the vibration when we get so much into our head and so much into crazy doing mode, and going basically in all four directions at once. So what would be how can we cultivate a good vibration, as there are so many things coming to us, and we might be tempted to go also into even FOMO mode, fear of missing out. But not to worry, it's all good, and it doesn't matter how much you do, but who you are. And I guess that's a good closure here today. The energies of the squares are rolling out over the weekend, and then next Monday the moon will enter Libra, where it's all about finding balance, harmony, right relationship, and moderation. I wish you well for this coming week, and yeah, take it easy and enjoy beautiful springy time. As we're now in Gemini, we're coming to the height of the light, which is the summer solstice. Gemini has only just started, and Gemini is also the alchemist of polarities, of duality, of yin yang, of anything that can be, yeah, so much pulling us into two directions, bringing those together and taking that to the next level. And so this is my closure here today. Have a wonderful week, and hope to see you at some point in person, or again, you can see me again next week with the next Astro Weather. And as usual, also you can find all of this in the writing in my email Astro News. If you'd like to sign up, send me an email. I have my email address below, and you can find also lots of blog articles about this weather specifically, and much more in depth on my blog, on my WordPress blog. Also links below the show notes, as it's called, and there's also the Facebook page that I link to. Be well, and have a wonderful week. Bye.